sure that we record it for those that will be missing it. Thanks, Ashley. Hey everyone, hey everyone, hey everyone. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. More people, over 20. All right. Happy Women's History Month, everybody. I'm just gonna, sit this here for another minute or so, and this is gonna be a small little icebreaker to, get us started, and then we'll roll into the agenda. But it's something to keep you on your toes. I'll tease it out, and then I might call on a few folks that I see smiling. Right now, it's only Patty and Denise. But so if you want to put that camera off, then I could do a little roulette and see where that goes as well. But no, it is good to see so many people, joining in on this conversation. We're back with our all network meeting. I know some of you may have been confused. We'll also have one next week, which we want you to come back to because it will be different. But yeah, we have more people coming in, but I'm going to kick this thing on. Kick this meeting at 2:02 off. Very happy to see you all. I can't really see some of you, but that's okay. You can see me. Ashley is here with us on our team to help, also facilitate. We also have another team member, Elaine Alvite, who we'll be really introducing in a future meeting as well, who's come to support us, especially in our larger initiative. And then we also have Bobby Reyes, who will be helping as well. You'll see her in there, who's helping us with youth development, social entrepreneurship. Brigé is also on here. You see some of our marketing stepping up in those materials. So we have a lot of hands that are assisting us with this. But right now, really want to quickly break the ice. It's something simple. Again, I'm gonna call out a couple folks, but it's what are you enjoying listening to right now? I'll tease it out. One thing right now is Fancy, a song by Drake. Please, if anybody wants to listen to it, find the clean version. But as my daughter turns 1 on Friday, the 4th, so those of you that'll be, joining me for a cup of coffee, you might see a surprise guest, on that. But Fancy, as I think about the song, there's a lot of women empowerment once you get through all of the fluff. And I'm thinking about my daughter and her being the person that they talk about in that song. If Chicago history were an Olympic sport, I'd win the gold. Talk about Chicago all day long. Sports, culture, music, entertainment, the mayor's political scene. Those are things that I know about Chicago. So just giving y'all a little bit of insight on me. But right now, I'm actually going to call on Patty to pick one or the other. You don't have to, do both. Either what you're listening to right now, or if blah were an Olympic sport, what would that be? You know that you'll win the gold medal.
Thank you, Q. I think I'll go with the first one. I was listening to some a song called I'm sorry, I'm going to say it in Spanish. Despacito, and most of you probably know it because I was trying to get into that rhythm and keep going for the rest of the afternoon.
Love it, love it. Which by whom? The artist? Just in case someone wants to also jam with you, or time if we see your head bobbing at some point. Or you can do it in the chat if you want. Denise, I'm going to call on you as well. What are you enjoying listening to for the Olympic sport?
I'm all over the map with listening. My son is quite the inventive person, so he gives me new music all the time and I listen to that. So I don't think I can pick one right now, but if talking about the hiking were an Olympic sport, I don't think I'd win gold because I just messed up my ankle and am wobbling around, but at least maybe the silver. I love being outside and I certainly enjoy our California weather. So I think that's where I'd stand.
Okay, so you can point me in the direction that doesn't have the snakes and Crazy
Yeah,
place.
we don't have a lot of snakes, but as your daughter gets older, we'll talk about places to take a toddler. How's that?
That's perfect. Chicago kid again. I know the Chicago history. This one scares me
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bit.
we'll have to teach you the Bay Area history soon.
Appreciate it. Well, thank you all for joining me in this little piece. We have more people coming in, but really quickly putting some stuff as this meeting gets into, we've sent a lot of materials your way for you to review. We're going to be talking about strategic initiatives, but really reminding you all why we connect, for that path to economic freedom. Also pointing out a few quotes that came from our network, which also feels like the theme that we're, going with this meeting. Inclusivity, as well as a bit of structure to make sure that the path that we're along brings everybody in, but also that is founded in something that we all can connect on and bring more people into. And so that's the goal, even as our objectives that you see on there. When we put up these strategic initiatives, we really want to think about where you are, how it feels, and which ones you feel connected to. But then even if you do not feel connected to one, who in your network might you think about and to bring into one of these strategic initiatives that we introduced today. So in front of you, the agenda, I'm going to do a quick refresh, and then I'm really going to get into the meat and hand it off to Ashley and then the other presenters for the 3 strategic initiatives that we'll be placing forward. So you could take a snapshot, again, kept the objectives up there, even as we, look forward in terms of what we just talked about in structure. We want to put a big shout out to Stanford University and the Office of Community Engagement to help us really think about ways to present better. So when we think about our resources and even our capacity, those types of partners have helped us start to put something together that hopefully you all will find easier to participate in, but also understand. Quick refresh. Really want to thank you all for being here. I mean, it's almost 40 people here right now, which is probably the high for this year, which is also showing that we're moving into action. But the appreciation and thanks that I want to give to you is for those first 2 bullet points. I mean, there's been a lot of progress. We don't talk about it because we're always thinking about where we want to go and our end goal. But I really want to have you all see what you've done and what we've positioned ourselves for in that 3rd bullet point, which is where we find ourselves today: strategic initiatives, network expansion, and fund development. While I talked about parallel tracks before, now we start to converge our tracks a bit, and we're kind of on the same train in this. Strategic initiatives are truly, without getting caught up into names and those other things, strategic initiatives are truly the response to those funders outside of our network looking to support us. So our strategic initiatives are our path to getting the funding that we all deserve. And these three strategic initiatives that we're putting in front of you today will help us start to apply metrics to the work that we're doing, as well as bringing additional people and organizations inside to help join in on more of the fun. As I've said in the past, we need more people helping more people. And this is one of the places that we see, us going. So again, as we look at where we're going for the strategic initiatives, do you see a place for yourself? If you don't, that's okay. We still have reasons and places for you to convene and come together. But if you do not, who might you think would be a part or a good partner in one of 3 strategic initiatives that will be presented, after this? Lastly, again, for all of you, not even for those of you that don't see yourself, but for all of you, the initiatives that we're putting forward really have a JEDI lens attached to it. So justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. And I would love for you all to start to think more about that, even within your working groups, those of you that are still moving forward, like that extra layer that doesn't keep us in the same path of below self-sustainability, but really thinking about how we propel ourselves in economic mobility. So again, There's 3 strategic initiatives that we will present, but that's not all that will be presented in the future. This is really an opportunity with funded initiatives to bring more people into our network and also answer the call from some of the funders who have been circling around trying to support the work that you all have been doing. And part of that, again, has been highlighted for those of you that were able to be a part of it or were able to see the state of the valley, any of the reports around it. Racial equity and the racial inequities and the gaps were really highlighted by the end. And a lot of that momentum and the call to action was really the work that you all have been doing. Bridge to Recovery. When you start to listen to Jim and Michelle and the things that they talked about, Michelle Liu for the Health Trust, they really were talking about all of you and all of this work. So here's an opportunity now as we move these initiatives forward to show them that, yes, you can now start to divert a lot of those pledges and promises to the network that you all have put together. Lastly, just draft format, but really taking you all through the phases of this year of our upcoming meetings. So the phase 1 that we're in and kind of coming out of now, it's about inclusion, activation, and funding. Again, just spoke a little bit about that. We're moving into the inclusive leadership and developing metrics phase. Again, the metrics will come initially from these 3 strategic initiatives, and then we'll start to put a dashboard that helps us evolve it. It will not be the end all be all. It will just be the starting point for us to continue to chart our progress. And then you will see some things below a soft Bridge to Recovery relaunch. You see some dates that are there because I know those are busy times, but we're also trying to coordinate things with other initiatives and things that are happening in our region and also thinking about your timing. So our big picture visioning and funding, hopefully being able to come back around that time to talk about the additional support, especially off of the momentum of the strategic initiatives we'll present today. Finally, our defining approaches. So I'm going to stop here. I'm actually going to hand the keys over to Ashley to help us move into the conversation around strategic initiatives and then the breakout rooms. So thank you all. And
Thanks,
Ashley.
Q. Hi, everyone. I was also putting in the chat earlier the link to our agenda today and to our running notes document. I can repost those shortly, just so that everyone who might have joined a few minutes later has access to that. But my role right now is essentially to lead us through the conversation with our 3 presenters today about for the 3 strategic initiatives we want to dive into. So I am going to ask Brad Weisberg to go first to present the Career College Collective work for 5 minutes, Brad.
Only 5 minutes?
Only 5 minutes.
Do you have that PowerPoint? Are we going to do that, Ashley, or no?
Oh, I was going to put a link in the chat. I'll do that right now as you begin.
Okay. Well, good afternoon. God, it's so good to see some of you. For those of you we've never met, my name is Brad Weisberg, and I'd like to introduce Dr. Michelle Francis, who's also on my team. She's part of the initiative that we've been launching initially at West Valley, but certainly rolling out to other places. Primarily, the Career College Collective is a pilot program to find ways that we can offer free career training to the chosen demographic that we've selected through our Bridge to Recovery conversation, and that is the adult English language learner. We realized that so many jobs were lost during the pandemic. Folks needed retraining. Careers that they may have been in for years have completely disappeared, and so consequently, looking for new opportunities and new training. We also recognize that there was a huge population of these folks who lost their jobs that were classified as being adult English language learners, and they could probably need some help and have some barriers removed for retraining for reemployment. So through many, many hours of conversation and discussion and trials and tribulations, we came up with what we're calling a career, pathway to permit. And our initial career sector that we've chosen to focus on is early childhood education. So what we're trying to do is create a pathway to get people into this industry and eliminate any and all barriers to retraining. That is financial barriers, language barriers, childcare barriers, transportation barriers, anything that's preventing them from getting retrained and prepared to enter this industry. we found out that in order to work in the early childhood education, you need to be permitted. And in order to be permitted, you need to carry at least 6 units of traditional college credit. So we are partnering with our adult schools to be able to offer what's called a dual enrollment package, which is primarily the college, West Valley College, will be offering these courses at the adult school location. And because the students will be taking them at the adult school locations, they are waived and free of charge. There's no registration fees or no tuition fees. The grant funding that we got will cover any and all costs, including textbooks and materials. The idea is really to get people trained and upskilled and get ready to enter the permit, to be permitted to work into this industry. Now, we've been going gun ho and blazes, forward with this project. And is that my 5 minutes? Oh, you are going to. So Michelle and I and the other team members here at the college have been going blazes forward on this particular project, and it's something we're really excited by. I, however, am looking at the amount of money that we have and the funding that we have, and I'm realizing that we probably need to investigate other pathways as well. So really the idea of the whole college collective is to create contextualized career training that eliminates any and all barriers, language, financial, location, childcare, whatever is standing in people's way. And these pathways need to lead to jobs. So we have to have really positive labor market data. Could you advance to the next slide, Ashley? This is the slide that this is the educational plan. Well, maybe it's the slide before that. I'm sorry. Back up to, there we go. This was the data that we looked at in choosing early childhood education. Believe me, we weighed several different pathways. We found out that the number of jobs in our region was well over 8,000, with only a little over 2,000 people exiting programs, preparing people for those jobs. That leaves about 6,000 jobs going unfilled every year. 62% of those jobs require some kind of vocational training. So there are jobs, obviously, that people can get right out of high school, but almost 2/3 of these jobs require some sort of permit. So that's what really we're interested in doing, helping people get permitted. But the idea is to give them opportunities to upskill. We're not trying to prepare somebody for a $33,000 a year job. So there is a pathway and plans to let people continue their education and move up that financial ladder within that particular employment sector to get better paying jobs and a little bit brighter future. So I think that's got to be my 5 minutes. There is so much more to share. And if you'd like to know more, please come join us at the breakout, in our breakout room. Michelle and I will be there. We can answer any questions you might have.
And I want to
Brad,
join in really quickly,
Oh,
Ashley,
no, that's
because
exactly what I
Brad
was
and I,
going
we've all talked, and there's also the court reporter opportunity. There was data out where the court reporters, the folks that type really fast on those things, that the data that came out, that there's a need for that, and that job is near 6 figures, but 99,000 and somewhere around that. As we start to think about the Jedi lens, and even we think about social justice, one, that's economic mobility, but it's also addressing, say, that system that doesn't have many people of color. And when I look at the goal, or even the true goal of bringing more people into a strategic initiatives that are outside, that really is looking at partners who can help us think through an intensive program and the needs of that individual that we really want to get through that program, that might be different from one that has less hours. This one is more intensive. And so to me, when I think about our network and bringing more people in, it really is mining and solving those gaps and creating a strong safety net to support someone who could now find themselves propelling their family, into something else, and as well as our region. So that's really when I start to talk about justice, equity, diversity, inclusion lens, and propelling something a bit more than early childhood education that kind of keeps us in a certain category or sustainability area. So thank you, Brad, because that type of data that comes up, those are the types of pieces where in partnership, we can bring all of us together to support something and not necessarily say no, but find ways to yes.
Absolutely. And just to very, very quickly to piggyback the court reporting thing, West Valley currently has a court reporting program that's free of charge. It's a non-credit program. We're currently developing a program in facilities maintenance and industrial design. All non-credit would be all free of charge. So we contextualize those, we wrap those around in the Career College Collective concept and to eliminate barriers. And we're really onto something. We're really trying to offer free training to upskill people to get them into decent paying jobs.
Great. Thank you, Brad. I am going to call next on Marie. And Marie, I just got your email. Would you like me to share a link to your updated document in the chat while you're presenting?
Perfect. That would be
All right.
great. Hi. Hello, everybody. My name is Marie Bernard, and I'm Executive Director here at Sunnyvale Community Services. Quincy's on our board of directors. That's a disclosure, just so you know. And I'm also joined here by John Jepson, who is our new interim Director of Community Engagement. And so he's listening in here as well. And I also want to point out that I know I've worked with many of you in the past. Well, the concept of universal basic income is one that is very popular right now. And in fact, cities and communities nearby in Silicon Valley are also experimenting with these or about to. The program that we're proposing has some deep roots and plans from 2 or 3 years ago. We went to the Sunnyvale School District and also to the University of UCSC, University of Santa Cruz, and talked to one of their chief researchers in the whole area of social justice, Chris Brenner. And what we have devised and designed here is a program that is unique even among UBIs. The whole area that we're focusing on are families who have school children. And we're going to carefully look at what happens when we increase the income over 24 months for families with school-age children. Some of the UBI experiments that are going on are concentrating on people with extremely low income. Are the people that we serve every day, 98% have low to extremely low, and 80% have extremely low income. But what we're going to be doing is doing both these families, 40 families, 40 households who would then be receiving the assistance of $1,000 per month. Originally, we were looking at $500 to $750 a month, and that is what some of the UBI experiments are doing. Our experience over 2 years of the pandemic is that $1,000 will be a place where people can actually start to stabilize and change their lives and sustain them. We think education for the children is something that's extremely important for the future and measurable. We're going to be working with the school district to cross case manage these students and their families, both at the schools and at our own facility. We're going to be offering financial literacy, wraparound case management, so that all the basic needs of the families, including food assistance, initial rent assistance if they need that to stabilize, will be there, along with case management, referrals to other services. And we're going to, with the UC Santa Cruz folks, study many different aspects of these 40 families, that they remain housed, that their children are able to attend school, that the families are able to maintain and in fact, hopefully increase their overall income, so that at the end of the 2-year experiment, that they can sustain their new level of income, as well as grow their family's ability to thrive here in Silicon Valley. So it's a unique program, even amongst the UBIs. It's carefully tied to the school district in Sunnyvale, where there are 4 Title I schools. And we are working with the city of Sunnyvale, who's doing a study issue. The total cost of this program, as it's been redesigned, is $1.5 million. And this will sustain those families at that income for up to 2 years, and also yield some very unique data that is not being done in other UBI experiments, either in the Bay Area or nationwide right now.
Excellent, thank you. And I just want to let everyone know that there'll be a lot of opportunity to ask questions in the breakout rooms for our presenters, and then briefly before we go into breakout rooms. So I'm going to then pass it to Teresa, and I will fix my spotlighting here as Teresa comes on.
Hi, I'm here. I just could not find my mouse to save my life. Hi, everybody. I'm really excited to be here today. I have an introduction to make, and that's an introduction to myself. I am working now 50% time as the Workforce Development Director for Bridge to Recovery and Lighthouse. So I'm really excited to be here. One of Q and Ashley had asked me to talk a little bit about workforce development strategies, particularly in the 237-101 area. So I have this short PowerPoint that I wanted to share with you because I think the visuals are important. So I'm going to do that right now. Things that work. Okay, so I could not help but think about this phrase that my grandmother used to say: water, water everywhere, not a drop to spare. I grew up in Singapore. We're an island, lots of water around, but no water really. And that really is the story of the 237 community. And I am sitting here in the office in our Sunnyvale campus right now, and I'm surrounded by tech. I'm surrounded by Google, Juniper is across the street. All of these companies are here, everybody that you recognize in the tech world. We in Foothill are in this little gray zone. Foothill Sunnyvale is in this little gray zone. And right across from me is this wonderful neighborhood. I have my daughter's nanny lives in this neighborhood. And this is what I would call an educational desert neighborhood. There's no library there. There's no high school there. There's an elementary school that, within about a mile of it, but it is essentially an educational desert. And I think the 237 community in this area gives us an opportunity for this network to an opportunity to really say to ourselves, what does the community want, and what can we do to make sure that as we build this community, we build it right. What you are seeing here in this map is a set of plans that Sunnyvale has proposed, and they're going to build more housing in what we call the Moffett Business Park area. How then do we integrate the existing community, this brand new community, and all the tech around it? And I just want to give you a sort of 100,000 foot level in strategic initiative ideas and plans that we hope to implement. And this is sort of a 10-year initiative. So I do expect us to stay around for 10 years, Q. Here we go. So if one of the narratives I want to switch for all of us is this, I think initially I thought, and I don't know if anybody else shares this, I was chasing tech dollars. I certainly was chasing the Googles and Amazons of the world to hire our students at here at Foothill College. But in the years that have come by, like, this is my conclusion. If you think about your everyday life, You visit the dentist, there's a dental assistant and a hygienist. Maybe you adopted a pandemic puppy. You saw a vet tech who gave your little dog his shots. Your car needed to be smogged. You had to go visit the auto technician. You needed a shot. You went to Walgreens and the pharmacy tech helped you. And then the IT managers that you see every day who at DMV, who are all those people? All of those people are community college graduates. All of those people power tech. All of those people power our economy. So in sort of flipping this narrative, what I want you to think about is this. We have an opportunity in the 237-101 area to build a center that is both vibrant, it includes community, it includes education, and it includes all these pathways to family sustaining jobs. What we want to do is to think about ways in which we can partner with you, our network, to bring these safety net services to this brand new community that Sunnyvale wants to build, that would integrate the sort of old community and this brand new community that the city is planning on. Right now, what's here are a lot of child development and child care classes. There are language ESL classes. We have pre-apprenticeship prep to help students get into really good sustaining jobs. We want to expand on those. And while many of us are interested in four-year degrees and all of that, I think our center and this area really is looking into this. a lot of new skill pathways. What are the jobs that because this is a 10-year plan and we want to be here by 2031, no, 32, in 10 years, it would be 32. We're really looking at new skill pathways that would take us through 2032. We are looking very, very deeply, and we've already gotten started on apprenticeships so that our students can earn and learn at the same time. It's no longer go get a loan from FAFSA, which, by the way, I think is due today, just to go to college, right? We think you're good enough, and we want you to earn while you go to college and get your degree. In our area, we have dental assisting, semiconductor. We're working on a child development apprenticeship. We're looking also at low barrier pathways. So something that anybody can step right into. Our pharmacy tech is one of them. We have a non-credit Google Suite technology class. All of those things here, landscape and resource management is another large field that we would serve. And then the middle skills and upskilling programs that we want to locate here at this particular center. Now, I just want to put it out there that this isn't a Foothill centric, even though I work half the time for Foothill. This is not a Foothill centric plan, but a Sunnyvale centric plan. And what I want to do, and actually want to reinvent and rebirth this center with the way that it was thought of as a place where educational services can be located. The original thought for this center was many of the community colleges would locate classes and services here, and we would somehow figure out a way to get it going. And I want to figure that way out again. It didn't quite so happen. The pandemic happened, and so here we are all again. So, and you know, I just want to remind everybody, we really need to tell the story that community college graduates really do power the economy, and we want to center it here in this brand new community. I was a teacher before, so I'm going to give everybody homework, which is for you to think about where you live and the educational deserts that are in your community. Where are those? Because if we can do that here in Sunnyvale, we can go back to the network and replicate that in your community. Maybe you live in East San Jose, maybe you live in Palo Alto, maybe you live in Redwood City where I am. Where are the educational deserts, and how can we replicate this for your community and bring the strength of this network to all of them? So that's sort of my 100,000 foot level, 5 minutes of fame, I guess. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, Teresa. I am just setting up some breakout rooms now, but while I do that, I just wanted to point out that the goal is, I know we went so quickly through all three of those, but each of these strategic initiatives that have been presented are specifically presented because they are initiatives that we can act on as a network in the next 3 to 6 months. So we really focused on the fall and winter on defining our purpose and vision. And early in this year, we've really focused behind the scenes on operations and infrastructure and staffing. Now we're going to say, how do we really hit the road? So I would like to have, sorry, people are still joining. I would like to have everyone self-select their breakout room based on which strategic initiative most excites you, or where you can best see your organization sitting. And I'm hopeful that the discussion allows for a little bit of Q&A of the presenter, but what we really want to make sure comes out of these breakout sessions is that there is a discussion about who would see themselves as part of this in the room, as that could really come to that next meeting and drive that forward. And also who else should be at the table that isn't necessarily in this meeting today, but needs to know about this and hopefully be involved. So I'm going to continue naming these because it lost it last time. And that is Brad's room. And then the last
Take a moment to
one.
thank everybody. Teresa, thank you, Marie, thank you, Brad. Amazing presentations. And while I feel kind of attached to each one of them uniquely, even the last project that Teresa is talking about really is the project that this network grabbed me from. And so I definitely know a lot, behind that. I was a part of creating a 10-year budget and plan, that created something that was going to be inclusive for all, not just for Sunnyvale. And this is uniquely in Moffett Park, but not just in Sunnyvale, but also something that served our region. So I'm definitely happy that, Teresa, and even in this partnership, it brings it full circle for my work as well.
Great, thank you. You will have 15 minutes. It will give you a 60-second warning. And when I click create all rooms, you all can click on the breakout room icon down at the bottom of your screen and join the room that you feel most interested in. And then Denise will be taking notes for Marie's group. Brad, I believe you will identify a note taker for your group, a volunteer. And then Teresa's group will need one as well. All right, ready to go? As Poncho says, go to your rooms.
I'm not going anywhere.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm clicking on, how do I get there? Breakout room in
You
progress.
have to click join. I have a different view than you, so it's hard for me to tell.
Oh, I see. Okay, there it is. There's join. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyone else having trouble getting in?
Ashley, could you help me go into UBI, please?
Yeah, I think so. Let me find your name here. Lobby. Ah, you just moved. Sign to UBI. Anyone else have requests that's having trouble?
Yeah, UBI for me too. This is Greg.
Greg, thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Silka or Jeanette? Q. Oh, everyone's disappearing.
Okay, yeah,
Bobby,
I'm
you
about to
didn't
put
go.
Bobby. I'm gonna
Yes.
put you in
I did it.
UBI. Where did I
Why is-
put, where were we putting you? UBI?
Yeah, I put her in there, but oh, there she goes.
Oh, she's in there. Okay,
Okay,
so I'm
there we
trying to
go.
figure, she's in that one. So then I think I'm gonna go into Teresa's. I was trying to figure out the numbers. And
Oh, does
Okay,
it have a
Elaine just
number
went
next
in.
to it?
yeah, so there's 12 in youth,
Oh, I see.
237, 11,
That's
and
a
11.
pretty
Oh, that's
even
good.
split.
Wow. Like now, where should I go? Good work. This is going extremely well.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
All right, pick your poison, Q.
All right, UBI was in that. I probably need to go into this 237 just to